Let's be honest. Have you ever been scrolling through the news and felt like you're watching a reality TV show? I mean, seriously, one day there's a huge scandal, the next, a dramatic betrayal. We've got our heroes, we've got our villains, and we're all just glued to our screens waiting to see what happens next. So yeah, let's dive into why politics has become the greatest show on Earth. Because it's not an accident. What if I told you that this feeling, the constant drama, the suspense, the outrage is all completely 100% by design? Yeah, you heard that right. You're not just a passive viewer in all this, you're actually being programmed. There is a playbook, a set of rules and tactics designed to turn you, me, all of us into political junkies. And today, we are going to pull back the curtain and expose how it all works. Politics has always had a bit of theater to it, right? But what's happening now is on a whole other level. It's not just like entertainment, it is entertainment. So get this, political strategists are now literally studying platforms like Netflix and TikTok. They're using the exact same playbook, the same algorithms that get you hooked on a new series to get you hooked on a political candidate or an issue. That viral tweet that just perfectly captures your outrage, that wasn't luck. It was a carefully engineered piece of content designed from the ground up to get you emotionally invested. And we tell ourselves, oh, I'm just staying informed. I'm being a good citizen. But if we're being really honest with ourselves, that's not what's happening. We're not just being informed, we're being played. You're not consuming all this political content for the information. You're consuming it for the feeling. That little dopamine hit you get from being outraged. The thrill of feeling like you're on the right side of a moral battle. That I told you so high. And that feeling, it's a drug manufactured by a machine that you never even get to see. So how does this machine actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine that drives this whole thing. The outrage for profit machine. 3. This is the magic number. Your brain, my brain, everyone's brain is literally hardwired to react 3 times more strongly to something that makes you angry than to something you agree with. And you better believe the strategists know this. So what do? They manufacture outrage every single day. It's a tactic called strategic emotional drainage. Here's how it works. They flood your feed with dozens of emotionally charged topics. They know you only have so much energy to get angry about things, so you naturally end up focusing on the simplest, most outrageous ones, the ones with the clearest villains, while the really important, complex stuff just flies right under the radar. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Over on the left, you've got the stuff that gets ignored. You know, dense, crucial bills, what's happening with Federal Reserve rates, complex policy that actually affects your life. But on the right, that's what gets amplified. A scandalous tweet, a 30-second soundbite, that's what gets the clicks, the shares, and all of your emotional energy. It works just like they planned. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You're being directed like a rat in a maze, except the cheese is your own adrenaline. You get a notification, you click, you get angry, you share, and boom, your part in the play is done. You've been successfully manipulated. And this is where it gets really dark. Welcome to what's called the economy of hate. See, the reason you're constantly encouraged to despise the other side is actually pretty simple. It's incredibly profitable. Your hate is a commodity, and you're the one paying the price without even knowing it. It's almost like watching a horror movie, you know? You're scared, but you just can't look away. And research from Stanford actually shows that the more you consume content that makes you angry, the more your brain starts to associate politics with pleasure. It's this vicious, addictive cycle. So here's the bottom line, the fundamental conflict at the heart of all this. Democracy and entertainment are basically at war with each other. Democracy requires slow, thoughtful analysis. Entertainment demands fast, emotional reactions. You really can't have both at the same time. Okay, so that's the problem. How in the world do we escape this trap? How do we reclaim our own minds? Well, the good news is, there is a way out. It is time to take back control. Here are 4 concrete steps you can take to break the cycle. Now, this isn't about disengaging from politics, not at all. It's about engaging, but on your own terms. Step 1 is the most important. Just recognize the trap. The next time you feel that hot surge of outrage bubbling up when you see a headline or a tweet, just stop, take a breath, and remember, that emotion, it might not even be yours. It was probably manufactured for you. Okay, step 2, turn off those push notifications. Seriously. Important news needs context, not a 5-word alert designed to freak you out. And step 3, break your echo chamber. Start following some people you disagree with. And the goal here isn't to argue with them. It's just to understand. And finally, step 4, and this might sound weird, value boredom. If you're reading a long, detailed article about policy and you start to feel a little bored, that's a good thing. It means you're actually thinking, not just reacting. It means you're winning. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Your attention, your outrage, your hate, they've all been turned into commodities. You're not the consumer anymore. You're the product being sold. Look, the first step to getting out of the trap is knowing that you're in it. So the next time you feel that rush of political outrage, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. Who is making money from my anger right now? The answer to that question might just be the thing that sets you free.